Our family faces danger that has threatened our planet.
What is that?
Get us out of here!
Are we safe?
I don't know.
We are not giving up.
We will protect you.
Line them up, Johnny! What's the plan?
Trust me. I hate that
That's a
plan.
bad plan.
Terrible
That's a
idea.
stupid plan.
Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four. Rated PG-13.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Marvel posted a new Fantastic Four trailer because as of me posting this video, it is the 4th of July, so they're just capitalizing on that for a lot of Fantastic Fourth. But there's a bunch of new scenes of Galactus during this and a little more clarifying of what the actual timeline of the movie is and when the family encounters Galactus for the first time. Unsurprisingly, there have been many Galactus cooking jokes in the background, Chef Galactus showing up for some medium spicy Earth barbecue. Just starting at the beginning of the new trailer footage, so it shows them walking out of the Baxter building to their launch pad. They call it the Excelsior launch pad, which is a reference to Stan Lee's catchphrase Excelsior. It's also the New York State motto. But I think the idea that they put it in the movie, because a lot of the movie is meant to feel like classic Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, original Fantastic Four vibes. Like they really wanted to feel like those original 1960s vibes when the comic first debuted. You can actually see that the spacesuits that they're wearing are from later in the movie after he creates a second set when they have their powers. So like you can notice Ben Grimm's costume is a little bit different. Like he's a little bit shorter. His faceplate doesn't have the same shielding on it because of his rock form. He doesn't need the same shielding that the other family does. Then there's the clip that they cut with this of Reed Richards saying, "Our family faces danger that threatens the rest of the world." I think this is after they learn about Silver Surfer, after she's come to Earth and told them that Galactus is coming to consume the world. When he says their family faces danger and now it threatens the world, I think that part of Galactus coming has something to do with Franklin Richards. Like Galactus wants Franklin Richards and he'll destroy the Earth to get him. But his whole thing is consuming the energy from planets anyway, so I think the choice is Franklin or the planet. Like, what are you going to do? Give up the baby or I will consume the Earth kind of situation. Why does he want Franklin Richards? How much of the comics are they getting into with these references?
I would like to see the baby.
There have been a lot of rumors, a lot of theories. What might be happening is they're using this to set up a twist for Avengers Secret Wars, the second upcoming Avengers movie, Avengers 6. Just because it seems like that movie is going to take more inspiration from the more recent Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars, at the end of that, they use Franklin Richards' power of recreating entire universes to rebuild the multiverse after Doctor Doom becomes God Emperor Doom and collapses the rest of the multiverse into the single world for the entire multiverse, like one world for all of reality. So it's basically Reed Richards fixing the multiverse again, but using Franklin Richards' power to do it. There was a rumor early on that Galactus wanted Franklin Richards in this movie, like live-action versions of the characters, to recreate his original world before it was destroyed, before he became the Galactus character, when he was still Galen of Ta. That would be a huge change from the comics if they're going to do something like that in the live-action MCU. Galactus in the comics does miss his original world. He does pine for it a little bit, but he doesn't want to completely remake it using other people's power. Like he isn't seeking a plan to just remake his original universe. We see regular people watching them take off. I think this is when they go in these new spacesuits to see actual Galactus consuming a planet. They go to his world ship, Ta-2. That's basically what we're witnessing here, where Galactus basically transforms and actually consumes another planet. It seems like the Fantastic Four go there and they're talking to the Silver Surfer while they're on Ta-2, his spaceship, and then suddenly he transforms and consumes the planet, and they bail. They're like, oh, we need to get out of here right now. I made the comp in my last video to being a little bit like Unicron in the Transformers movies. Like we just saw a version of Unicron. He actually munches on planets, just like transforming a little bit and literally just hoovering them up into himself. Unicron in the Transformers universe is based a little bit on the idea of Galactus. So it's a little bit of a circle of Easter eggs, like the circle is now complete. Galactus himself doesn't actually consume the matter from planets. Like that's not what he needs. He actually needs the energy from planets, energy-rich planets, so he has to convert that into energy that he can consume in some ways. There have been a lot of people, too, that have wondered if he's coming to Earth, is there a celestial core inside Earth the same way it was during the Eternals movie in the 616 MCU universe? Wouldn't Galactus want to consume the celestial core because it's so rich with energy? That does make sense. I would not be surprised if he's going around the universe consuming celestials, essentially. The only thing about that is that in the comics, the celestial host is so powerful, Galactus tends to give them a very wide berth, so it's not like they go around battling each other all the time 24/7. If the Celestials found that Galactus was consuming a bunch of celestial cores, they would probably get pretty pissed off. Notice Johnny Storm is on their spaceship saying, what is that thing? That's probably when Galactus is transforming and he's just witnessing it destroy the planet before they bat. Like the family loads onto the spaceship and Sue Storm seems like she's in the middle of giving birth to Franklin Richards because you see her just grab the console with her spacesuit off, just freaking out. Like everything that can go wrong for them, everything that they're worried about is all happening at the same time here. Also with Silver Surfer coming to take the baby. Reed Richards says, get us out of here, and Ben Grimm pilots the shuttle through the black hole. This is actually a pretty cool sequence. They've actually got a little bit better with the special effects, like they've been polishing it since we've seen the original trailers. My assumption is that Reed Richards has just come up with a way to actually use this to tunnel through space, kind of like a wormhole situation. This is probably meant to tease how they're eventually able to cross universes to the MCU 616 universe from their universe at the end of the movie. I know there have been 1,000 theories and 1,000 questions about that spaceship of theirs in the Thunderbolts post-credit scene, because people notice that there are 4 fins on that spaceship, but there are only 3 fins on their spaceship in this universe, in this movie. So everybody was like, wait a minute, does that mean that there's somebody else in that spaceship? It's like some big teaser for some other character walking out. It won't be the Fantastic Four. My assumption, based on previous Marvel behavior and just like the way things work behind the scenes, is that it was just a couple of different special effects teams working on it, and they decided to tweak the design of the Fantastic Four spaceship, so it wound up being a little bit different in the post-credit scene than it wound up being in this movie. Like it was a different visual effects team working on the Fantastic Four movie, and they weren't communicating with each other, and they finished the Thunderbolts movie, and they didn't want to spend more money on it because they didn't think that it was going to earn $1 billion, so they didn't want to pour too much extra money in it just to update that small little design tweak in the Fantastic Four spaceship, just because it was such a small moment in the post-credit scene. Kevin Feige, to his credit, was asked a lot about this, and he said, yeah, it certainly does look a little bit different, like he was shrugging, trying to kind of egg people on to make as many Easter egg puns as possible.
I give you credit for just outright asking the question, and I'll give myself credit for trying to evade it and avoid it entirely.
Basically implying that it could be somebody else in that spaceship in the Thunderbolts post-credit scene in a big twist during Avengers Doomsday. But honestly, I don't think that's the case. I think he was just trying to fan the flames of Easter eggs because it's probably just a visual effects error between the 2 different movies, just a side effect of a bunch of different teams working on different things and them not wanting to spend extra money on the Thunderbolts movie when they didn't absolutely have to. My assumption is that the post-credit scene for the Fantastic Four movie will not be the other side of that post-credit scene. Like at the end of the movie, the regular part of the movie, before the post-credit scene, it will show them traveling into the wormhole across universes, but the actual post-credit scene for the movie will probably be something more Doctor Doom, Avengers Doomsday related, not Thunderbolts movie post-credit scene related. Notice then that Ben Grimm is piloting around Galactus as he's in the middle of consuming this world and the other part of space that they go to. Then I think the idea is that when they're battling Galactus here, like he's shrunk himself down and he's just stomping through New York City like a little kid stomping through a play set, this is actually later in the movie after they return to Earth and after Galactus consumed that other world, then he comes to Earth for Franklin Richards, or, if they don't give him up, to consume the world. When Sue Storm says we're not giving up, that's probably after Silver Surfer shows up the first time to just make them aware that Galactus is going to destroy the world or they want Franklin Richards. Then they decide to go to the other part of space and see what's up with Galactus. Like, what are you talking about? And then they actually witness him. He tells Johnny Storm to light them up. Not totally clear what he's talking about, but there were these devices firing energy into space from the planet. This one looked like it was in Paris, and there are ones nearby it too. Not totally sure what those are for or what they're meant to do. Maybe it's just part of Reed Richards' plan of dealing with Galactus. There's some new footage of Reed Richards using his stretching powers to jump onto Galactus, like he grabs Galactus and then just hoists himself up. Not totally clear what this rod is that he's jamming into him. Maybe it just has something to do with that larger array of him firing all that energy into space. Notice when Ben Grimm says, "Light him up, Johnny," behind him you can actually see all that energy firing up into the air. And he still has his rock beard, too. You actually see that later in the trailers, too, when he tells Reed Richards that his plan is total crap. Like, that's a bad plan.
That's a bad plan. That's a stupid plan.
To answer the question there, yes, it is possible for Ben Grimm to grow a beard in his rock form. And yes, he would have to use some very, very special, very powerful tools to actually shave it. There's a couple brand new looks at Galactus. When you see the Fantastic car flying through the streets here, you actually see Galactus's head in the background. You can see the glowing light coming from his eyes, too. We're actually getting more and more looks at him with the successive TV spots and promos. Then we actually see Sue Storm piloting the car, and notice the reflection of Galactus's head. You can actually see his eyes in the roof of the Fantastic car. So like just yet an even better look at him in the movie. Then they end the trailer with Johnny Storm making the Fantastic Four symbol with his powers. The Chris Evans Human Torch Johnny Storm actually did that too in the first Fantastic Four movie. We will see what Marvel does with Galactus short term during Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. He was in the Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars. The other real big reminder is that the Superman movie is coming out next week, so my review should post on Tuesday. I'm supposed to see the movie on Monday, so hopefully everything works out with that. Enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss anything. Congratulations, Modem Mac and Aristocles22. You're the recent giveaway winners for my last couple of Marvel videos. Will the two of you please email me on the About page on my channel or my website so I can get your contact details. Recently, a trailer for Christopher Nolan's Odyssey movie just dropped. It has Tom Holland, John Bernthal, before Spider-Man Brand New Day, Robert Pattinson from the Batman universe, like a bunch of Christopher Nolan regular actors are back, but also just happen to be in a lot of comic book movies too. Click here for that video. It looks like it's going to be epic. And click here for all my Superman videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.